Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Franklin here, and today we're gonna talk about future Pokemon remake games and why I'm worried about those. But before we get into it, please like and subscribe. That is the best way to support me for free. If you love this content, go ahead and check out my other content on this channel. All right, let's get it started. I really hoping to see Generation 5 remakes, as you know, Generation 5 is another beloved generation, right up there with Generation 4. However, due to the fact that we saw Generation 4 remakes as underwhelming, bare bones, bare minimum effort put into those games besides the quality of life, graphical upgrades, and just not enough content or more content than we expected it to be. Yeah, a lot of people were left disappointed, including myself. And I really hope that Generation 5 doesn't follow that trend. And I already made a video about this in regards to Generation 5 and why I'm worried about those games coming off of the Generation 4 remakes that were made last year. And I'm just pretty much worried. I really hope Generation 5 does not get butchered. I really hope they take a very unique approach in a way that they give us more content. They give us not a one-to-one faithful remake as they try to push that into the Nintendo Switch market, but make the games fun. Make the game substantial to the point that your fans are going to be pleased and that they remember Generation 5 as one of the goated generations. Give them a reason to believe that Generation 5 is goated. And if that's not the case, I would really recommend GameFreak or someone who's going to be in charge to essentially give us the fifth generation Pokemon Legends game. Maybe Pokemon Legends Kyurem or whatever Pokemon you want to call it. I think Kyurem is the best candidate due to the fact that if you guys recall in Generation 5, there's always that story of the original dragon that split into three, which was, of course, Kyurem, Reshiram, and Zekrom. And this is probably something they can monetize pretty damn good. I mean, let's say if you want to talk about, the legend being split into the two dragons, the two fusions, um, Kyurem White and Kyurem Black. Like, they can make two legends games like that if they really want to. Now, of course, if it doesn't work out, they can always make the remakes of Black and White or Black 2, White 2. I do personally believe Pokemon Legends Kyurem, I'm going to put those in quotes because obviously that's not something that's real. I think that's a pretty good game. They can take that generation, and I really am not a fan of Game Freak working on two games at once because the quality can get a little bit into the gray area when it comes to whether it's good or not. I do think a Legends fifth generation game is going to be a phenomenal thing if that ever comes to fruition. Highly doubt it the way things are going with Game Freak. And now we're going to go on to the next generation, and that's going to be Generation 6, Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. So these are essentially the first Pokemon games that were transitioned into the 3D era with the 3DS. Man, I know a lot of people don't like Generation 6 due to the fact that it definitely felt like they were bare bones. Now, obviously hindsight's 2020. When the games came out, people were amazed. People were floored. People were like, "Oh my god, these games look really good." In retrospective, over the years, these games did not age very well. I mean, bare bones. If you're talking about empty, empty data in a Pokemon game, these two are probably it. Now, of course, there was the rumor that never came into fruition saying that we were supposed to get a Pokemon Z because obviously Zygarde is in the game as well, but it never really got a story. They never had a background. They don't even mention it, I believe. It was just there. Like, oh my god, I found a random ass legendary dragon and ground type in Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, and okay. Kind of like what Kyurem went through. Although Kyurem in Generation 5, some of the folks in that village, I forgot what the actual village name called, they mentioned about a dragon that was like eating children or something like that, which was like, what the hell? But here it's like Zygarde was just not there. Like, what the hell? And why do you think that we'll probably get Generation 6 remakes? Personally, I don't really read into it in regards to Pokemon regions being mentioned in different games, but in Generation 9, which obviously takes place in Spain. I mean, if you guys haven't put the dots together, they mention heavily in regards to Kalos regions. So there's several references in regards to the Kalos region, and of course, Kalos takes place in a fictional world in France. So Spain and France are like, I wouldn't say they're neighbors, but they're definitely geographically makes sense as to why there would be such a connection to begin with. And I really would love to see a Pokemon game when there are multiple regions. We haven't had that in a very, very long time. And I feel like with France and Spain, that'd be pretty cool. Link up the two regions. Make us take a ferry or a boat and travel between different regions. That'd be phenomenal. But of course, we're talking about Game Freak, and Game Freak is just ugh. I'm really mad with Game Freak, man. The way they've been treating their games, the way that they don't care. Now I know I'm not gonna put the entirety of fault at Game Freak because obviously they have to meet a schedule. That might be something the Pokemon company should be taking flame for. But at the same time, it's like you guys gotta check your games, man. QA, QC your stuff. Make sure there's enough content for us to do. There really isn't a post story in Generation 9, and that might be due to the fact that it's an open world, quote unquote, game. But yo, give us more stuff to do. Now, I'm not expecting Pokemon to be at the level of Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. No, 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 no. That will never be, no one will ever exceed those expectations. But give us something that will provide us entertainment, something that makes us relate. Because quite frankly, this generation, outside of maybe like Larry, which is one of the gym leaders, everyone else is forgettable. I forgot their names already. And this game's only been out for about 7 months. Like, come on. I know y'all could do better than that. But I really, man, the remakes of any Pokemon game, obviously it's hard to beat the original games to begin with. But Kalos, there's a lot to build upon. There's stories that can be rewritten. There's more exploration in regards to why Zygarde's there in the first place. Hell, if you want to make a Legends game, you can talk about how the ultimate weapon was created 3,000 years ago that essentially nearly blew up the entire planet. And then you got King AZ, who has his own story. And it's just, there's a lot of promising themes, a lot of promising aspects of Pokemon that can be definitely be explored. But unfortunately, with the people that are in charge of making such games, I don't really see any faith that they can do a good job. Now they can prove me wrong down the road, 4 or 5 years or whatever. But right now, the way that Generation 9 looks and performs right now, and we're still in the midst of whether we are actually getting a Switch 2 or not. There's a lot of factors that can determine whether or not these games will perform very good from our point of view, from the fans' point of view. So, there you have it. Let me know what you guys think about remakes. Do you have any faith that remakes could potentially boost the morale of the Pokemon fan base, or do you think they're just going down a very deep, dark path of no return? But anyways, guys, it's your boy Franklin. Please like and subscribe. That's the best way to support for free. Signing out. Peace.